let's get stuck into... Now, look, because there's not a heap on this week, like as far as Supercoach trades and everything, we've sort of spoken about a few that we've floated, but there's not much doing. We really have to wait till Origin. So we thought it might be a good time for me and Tim to get out the mirror, talk to the man in the mirror, reflect on our seasons, what we've learnt and whatnot. So our very first, we've got 4 dot points we're going to go through here. Our very first one, Timbo, general thoughts on your season so far. What have you taken away so far, mate?
Yeah. Well, mate.
We're taking one, mate.
Yeah, happy with it so far. Went pretty hard on trades early on in the season. Going to like that approach more and more. Make moves early with trades. No need to be too conservative early on. Get your team set up at least that first 6 to 8 weeks, which I did. Like I hit a peak of 700.
Yep.
And then I had 3 just awful weeks on the trot and dropped, I think, 3,000 spots. I've gone way back up to like about 2,000 on the dot now. We've got to see how we ran at the start of the show.
I did really well too. Very disappointed in that.
Yeah. You had your best week of the year. We forgot last week and I had a ripper.
Mate, I'm just one of those knockabout kind of guys. I don't like to brag. I just like to go about my work quietly.
I can't believe you forgot that.
I didn't forget. I chose not to brag, mate. This is the sort of guy I am. You all parade me as this fuckwit. I'm not like that. I'm just a humble guy. I'm just a humble city guy with country values. I keep telling you.
It's always the humble ones that have to remind you.
Yeah, exactly right.
Yeah.
So this week I scored 1,092. I jumped up about 3,000 spots. So I'm into about 7,000. I have got 15 trades left, but I've got 650K in the bank.
Far out.
So it's almost like I've got 16 or 17 trades left because I've got so much money in there. That's why I look at it. But I won't look at it the same if you've got heaps of money though. Know that.
I don't have you always have a point in the season where you have some stupid amount of money.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
I have 18 trades left and a boost. I have 163,000.
Oh, so you've only got 14 trades then? Realistically.
That's a good amount of money though. Yours are just sickening.
What'd you score?
I scored 995 without Sir Herbert.
You scored 995.
Team went very well except for a certain Dolphins left centre and I've since blocked Cody Nicarima on Instagram. I'm sure he felt that one.
Oh, he's the junk time king. Yeah, okay, mad. 9 weeks in a row. Fucking suck.
When I put that up on social,
you muppet.
When I put it on social as he's at the junk time king, it was taken the wrong way. I didn't mean it as if it was junk time is bad. Junk time is great. It means you're still having a crack. Sometimes.
Beep. Watch out, guys. Timmy Williams in reverse. Backing her up. Just back it.
But yeah, anyway, 995 without Herbie, so not too bad.
Yeah. Oh, look, all things considered, I had Herbie. I think I beat you by not
about 100.
About 100, yeah. I think it was 150 before updates, and then that
updates were fantastic. I mean, they didn't update any game until Sunday night, so
yeah, it wasn't ideal. But yeah, there were some pretty big updates this weekend. I think that I took the VC on Ruben Garrick. You took the C on Teddy. Yeah, so there was a pretty decent swings there, enough to make a big difference.
What did you score, mate?
1,092. So I had a good week. Went up about 3,000. As I said, I've floated within the same 1,000 spots for about 6 weeks. So it was nice to go up a little bit. Cash in hand. Yeah, happy with how it went. Man, dude, you made some moves this week, didn't you?
I did. I actually got Herbie in.
Yeah, nice.
So I picked a good week to do that.
Jealous.
And I also did Cleary to Cherry Evans because I thought Ches might come in with a bit of, grunt, a bit of ticker.
A bit of
ready
New South Wales spirit.
Yeah.
Cat, what have I said about following Guru?
I think it went all right.
Honestly, I had nothing to do with what he was doing.
What did Ches get?
55.
Did he?
Yeah.
It was a 55.
Maybe.
It wasn't great.
He
it
got a
wasn't
nice little
terrible,
update
though.
too.
Yeah, 55 he got. So I'll take that.
He was heaps
But
less prior to updates, eh?
I scored
Can't remember.
1,024, not too bad, and I did go up in ranking.
Yeah, nice.
So I'm just on the cusp of the 30,000s now.
Fuck yeah.
Yeah.
Good stuff.
But 21 trades, 3 boosts left.
Yeah, that's
So
good
I'm just
gear.
going to boost pretty much every week till the end of the season.
We've got 12 rounds after you have 21. So
I know. So I'm literally
nearly
going to
2 a week.
I'm just maxing it out every week
Go
now.
hard.
Have you got Olaquatu?
Yeah. I also have Kalamatangi, so I was a bit worried about that, but it's good. I'm going to have to deal with the Homole injury.
You're pretty much cheering for injuries now, as fucked as that is. With all your
I
trades.
don't care. I'm like, well, I care for them, but I don't care for me.
From a selfish Supercoach point of view.
Selfishly, I'm like, who can I just buy?
You're in the carnage
I've also
business.
got 373K in the bank.
That's good. Yeah,
so
you're in a good spot. That's
big
exciting.
things happening on this side.
It's good. It's good that we're at this point of the year and three of us are in pretty different positions.
Very different.
It's good for the show, I think. Like you're up there with the real heavy hitters. I'm still with the shit kickers, and I'm low on trades.
Don't start rolling this narrative.
I'm just struggling in the crowd. I forget my score every week. It's
Just a humble winner.
just a humble winner, you know. It's not my story you'll hear. Okay, so my season so far, a little bit different to Timmy's. I've never really been that high. I think this is just about the highest I've been. But I've never been in a train wreck position.
No.
Captains have just cost me on a number of occasions. There's actually been a number of times where I should have beaten you, but I made a shit captain decision. And not captains that like got 20s, but just got 50s and 60s. I've had a lot of 50s and 60s captains that I just haven't been able to really cash in on. I don't think I've taken as many outrageous punts as I usually do.
You've been pretty conservative, yeah.
Well, I have, but like I traded in Fletcher Sharp 2 weeks before everyone else did, and then he became the most popular trade, so that kind of fucked me. I've traded in Lomax, to be fair. That's been one little smoky I've gone for. I traded in Isako last week. By the way, cut up my quote from last week that we always say with you buy Isako and one of the wingers will score heaps of tries. Jack Bostock was giving away tries and he still scored 4. Just fucked to watch.
I said to you when we were talking captains, and I was like, it's risky. And you said, oh, why is it risky in that? I said, because the Dolphins can often just find an edge and hammer it.
Yep.
And they did, obviously, with almost 5 tries to Bostock. It just happened. They just happened to put 58 points on. So Osako kicked about 1,000 goals. What did he kick, 9 from 9 or something? Or 9 from 11?
9 from 10. He missed his first one.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, look, outside of that, I haven't really taken any huge plunder. Like, I've sold key guys like Cleary and Haas. We'll get to that question soon. But I'm sort of okay with where I'm sitting. I would usually have more trades by this point. I'd like to think I'd have a boost in the skyrocket. I don't. I'm okay where I'm at, but I do feel like if there's a run of injuries, I'm going to be really just hanging on for dear fucking life.
And that's it. We had a bit of chat about it on the body, and like Maxi Bride, and he's 13 and Spies 14, and they're confident because they've got depth and they've got cash and all that, and it's fine, and they should be all okay because there's not that many players needing to get back in post-Origin. There's not many Origin players that they really need back in, and you'd be similar. Maybe a couple here and there, like maybe Cleary and whoever else, maybe a Munster. It's just you become a bit nervous around the injury front, and if injuries do hit badly, your trades look very thin. If they don't, you're laughing.
Yeah. So as far as your current placing goes, I mean, mate, considering you've had a pretty average month, is that fair?
I had 3 shit weeks.
Yeah, 3 shit weeks, which is pretty much a month.
Yeah.
To be sitting, what are you, 2,000 or 3,000?
Yeah, so very happy, 2,000.
You must be pretty happy, yeah.
Yeah, I'm very happy with where I'm at. It's that little bit bitter because I was 700 so early. I'm like, I should build on this. But all things being equal, looking at it where it's at right now, I'm very happy with my squad. So I've got trades in the bank, got a boost in the bank, bit of money in the bank. So I like there's players that I'll need to get back, but there's not a heap. I've sort of got my final team that I want to aim towards. Obviously things change quickly, but as it stands right now, you know, top 1,000 is the absolute minimum aim.
Yeah.
Like my goal from here is probably top 100, but I'd have to have a big finish to state the obvious. I realise that, but you know, anywhere from, if I'm being realistic right now, I want to finish somewhere from 300 to 500, and the ultimate goal from how far back I am, I'd love to crack top 100, but yeah, I think realistically top 3 to 500. Yeah,
but I also think with you, like 2 good weeks can move those goalposts very. Like if the next 2 weeks are good for you, like top 500,
well,
you look
that's
at
the
very
thing.
good.
Too many buy rounds and a major buy round to come. You do well on those. You can go from 2,000 to 500 in a month.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden, top 100 is very achievable. So it changes quickly. But as we know in Supercoach, Drew can go the reverse way. So,
Yeah, 100%. Yeah.
What about yourself?
I'm okay. I'm 7,000, which I'm always comparing myself to you on this show though, so I always feel like I'm a million behind. I'm not really. I'm not.
You're not
that far behind you, which means I'm not that far behind the top guys. Realistically, I know with me though, I will start to take gambles towards the back end, so I will swallow it up very quickly, or I'll fall behind very quickly. But I play I'd rather be fucking 20,000 than 1,300.
I'm not going to die wondering.
Yeah, I want to try and go as deep as I can and get as far up and carry on as much as I can. So, and I think I'm going to need that. I think I'm going to have to go, not heaps cowboy, but I'm going to have to make moves to catch you, I think. Because our teams are very similar as well.
Well, that's it. You don't have to go heaps cowboy. You've just got to go... You've got to start to look differently to me.
Yes, exactly right. Yeah, I'm going to have to make some moves.
And a Fletcher Sharp sell last week, bang, there's the first one.
There's the first one, yes, which scares the shit out of me. But yes, there's the first one. Really was hoping Moses would be playing football, so I'd have Lomax. But that's okay. We'll deal with that.
I just need Lomax not to do... There's an inevitable 140, 150 incoming.
Yeah.
I just need him not to do that in coming weeks before I get him in, because everyone will have him by post-origin. You just sit there going, just give me that one before everyone else jumps on.
What are you looking at with Herbie? Are you just...
Yeah, so...
It's gone, or...
Yeah, reluctantly, I'm going to continue to antipod. And, look, he's two of the big scores in his last three. So a 150 against depleted Cowboys due to Origin. Dragons put up nothing. He scored 105 and 71 against the Doggies without a few Origin players there. So the draw comes tougher. He has a bye in round 18, a bye in round 21, Warriors in round 22, but the big one is, mate, he's 815k, and there's blokes on the market and are about to come out of Origin. Zach Lomax, Val Holmes, Jacob Kiraz, all these blokes who can score every bit as good as him, if not more, at a lot lower ownership. I just sort of sit there and go, look, people will hold through the bye week, so I can have a Lomax or a Kiraz or whoever it might be through that. So, yeah, look, mate, I'm not happy about it, but at the price with the 150 that I've missed, I'm not ruling out buying him from like round 22 or round 23, but yeah, I'm just going to grit my teeth, mate.
Imagine if we get to the end of the season and we're sitting here saying Herbie Farnworth's got to try every week from round 7 onwards.
And I'm very aware that he could average 90 for the run home. He's averaging 83 now, scored a ridiculous amount of tries. They could continue, mate. The Dolphins are looking great. He's playing terrific footy. Could just be the story of the season where you go, Tim, you never got Herbie in and he just destroyed you, but... With the incoming draw and those buys and the price, I'm willing to do it.
Even if that happens, it's one of those ones where I think previous season we've looked back and gone, Latrell had the hot hand and we didn't get him, you idiots.
Yeah.
This just can't, it shouldn't have kept happening on the weekend. Just crazy how the guy outside him scored 4 tries. Like that 150, it was him that threw the last pass that he bombed as well, wasn't it?
Would have been.
It could have, it's just... Yeah, but it puts you in a fucking weird spot with this dude. I'm glad it's not a headache I have to deal with.
Yeah, it sucks. But, and I said, the two buys in the next 6 weeks, like 815k.
Yeah, it's a lot of bicky. Yeah, unless
I'll get Kiraz instead next week. And
Yeah, it's a lot of bicky unless you've got 650k in your bank.
Unless you can do it with pocket money.
Okay, let's talk about the 13-man buys. Obviously came in last year, so we got a 3-week sample size of that. We're now up to a 5-week sample size. Bit more to go off. What do you take away from these? Has your thought process changed? What have we learned from the first 5?
Yeah, first and foremost, it is hard to make up ground. Like every year in Supercoach, when you plan for the buy period, you could just make up thousands of spots. In fact, barring disaster, you would. For those well-planned Supercoaches. It's just hard to do. That being said, I haven't gone overly hard at it, but I've made sure I've had my numbers for the major buy rounds, and first one was no good, held rank this round, and team went well, but obviously missed Herbie. I like it though. I know when it first came out, a lot of the serious super coaches and content creators and stuff were blowing up about how shit it is, basically because it didn't help them make up rank and make ranks look better. Hello, I was one of them. I had a shit year last year when it came in because I didn't adapt to it well enough. I like it, mate. At the end of the day, we want people playing Supercoach and we don't want people getting to the first major buy round and it's top 17 or a squad of 18 and they have 7 players and their season's just done and it's stop playing.
Yeah.
We want people involved. We want the chat. We want the online community. We want people involved until round 27. Harder to make up ground for us. So be it. I think it's a great change, and it's good for the average Supercoach out there.
I completely agree. I think you said that really well. I think it's better in all for Supercoach. I think long term it's better. From a very selfish point of view as a content creator, I want more people playing.
Yeah, that too.
I'm all for it. So, I like it. And, I've got mates that quite often fade out by, like my best mate quite often is faded out by this point.
Heaps of people used to.
Heaps of people do, yeah. So
Still do, but used to a heap more.
Yeah, so I'm really on board with it. I like it. It does make it a little bit harder, but be fucking better.
Yep.
Adapt, work it out.
Be smarter.
Sort your shit out.
People that adapted last year and probably didn't go too hard at it and probably had banging years.
Yeah, for sure. And I do think that I have probably gone a little bit harder at them than what you have.
This year?
Yeah, I think I have it. Like it's sort of played on my mind. Like I'm starting to look back, and it has played on my. Like I'm quite often looking at those. And I mean, like I went hard at last week, and I put points, but I only put Herbie on you. That was it, essentially. So I really like if it wasn't for
it was Herbie,
lightning striking on Herbie, I probably don't actually move the needle that much.
Yeah, like in going into this bye period, I said don't rip your team apart to get extra numbers for them, and that's where I've saved these extra trades. So, and again, my ranks stayed steady essentially.
Yes, yeah. I think more now, mate, I look at these major buy rounds as just stay with the pack.
Yeah.
I think that's going to be my approach heading into the future. It used to be
stay with pack, don't rip your team apart and set yourself too hard a goal to get back to your gun team post Origin and, shred yourself of trades.
Yeah. Don't rip your team apart and just don't shit the bed. Just be okay.
It's like last year I didn't rip it apart, but I went too hard and I lost ground, and I'm like, okay, cool. Now I've dropped trades off as a result of it. I have heaps of Origin players I need to get back in, etc. Like
I do think as well, like when we say don't rip your team apart, I think the other side of it is don't just hold on to dead weight for the sake of it. And I'm looking at Billy Smith now going, fuck. I don't know if I needed you. I don't know if I still need you.
The dead weight was my big one.
Yeah.
And it's spot on, and I've been able to cut a little bit of it. Billy at his price, who's a good footballer, the Roosters draw, just the fact that they played every major and every minor, I think he was the exception to that dead weight rule.
I was looking at it last night going, I went from holding Smithies, just Smith. If anyone debuts next year named Smy, you're going to be in my side.
It was written there right in front of us.
Yeah. That's probably my biggest takeaways from it. But overall, I prefer it as it is. So
It's great.
It's good gear.